Coming into his freshman season at Florida State University, there were big expectations of Scottie Barnes. He was ranked 5th on ESPN's Top 100, which is their ranking of the top high school prospects, and many were expecting him to follow in the footsteps of Patrick Williams and Devin Vassell, who were both FSU players who were selected in the lottery of last year's draft. We'll have to see if that expectation is fulfilled, but with regards to his expectations about his game, he lived up to them. So let's take a closer look at Scottie and see just how good he is. Let's start with the numbers. Barnes is 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan and weighs 210 pounds. In his sole season at FSU, he averaged 23.8 points, 9.4 assists, and 9.2 rebounds per 100 possessions. He also shot 50.3% from the field and 27.5% from 3. Now, there are 3 things that immediately stand out about those numbers: his length, his well-rounded game, and the 3-point percentage. When we look at the tape, we'll see how these 3 points will be big factors for scouts to consider when they evaluate Barnes. Let's start with his defense, because that's the part of his game that gets me really excited. His size and length mean that he's able to be a super switchable and versatile defender who can switch positions 1 through 4. He can keep up with smaller guys, but can also use his body and strength to prevent being bullied by bigger boys. This is an extremely valuable attribute for a potential NBA player to have, as he will likely be asked to switch a lot at the next level. He's an elite on-ball and isolation defender, and there were very few instances in which he seemed overwhelmed defensively. He looks like one of those guys who relishes playing defense and loves clamping up the opposition's best player. He also has very active hands, and as I mentioned before, a long wingspan. He uses these physical tools to get into passing lanes, poke balls away, and contest shots at the rim. He's almost Ben Simmons-esque in this regard. He also forces ball handlers to settle for jump shots and can again use his length to contest them without fouling. And when he closes out, he's good at getting to the shooter quickly while remaining on the ground and maintaining his balance. Moving over to the offensive end, let's start with the passing. He's a really fun and creative playmaker. He's a really good open floor passer and made some unbelievable reads last season. He uses his downhill pressure to attract defenders, and he has the ability and awareness to make passes to the corner. He can also adjust his passing while in the air. He always has his head up, looking for open shooters. and loves throwing lobs. However, he can sometimes be way too aggressive with his passes, leading to turnovers. On the scoring front, things start to get a little more hairy though. Let's start with the positives though. He's a great athlete and is really good at attacking the basket in transition. This has led to some ferocious dunks. He can also finish through contact at times, using his length to get shots over guys. He possesses a good first step and is nearly unstoppable when driving downhill. I also have to mention he's a pretty good offensive rebounder with an offensive rebound percentage of 7.4%. Here come the negatives though. He's just not an aggressive scorer. His shot is inconsistent and the lower half of his body looks very rigid while shooting. It's not broken, but will need some work. He's not the best shooter off the catch and his shooting off the dribble isn't much better. He was even awful shooting from the corners, a position he will likely occupy quite a bit when he's not handling the ball. This isn't a catastrophe, as we've seen many guys get better shooting from distance when NBA coaches get a hold of them. In the meantime though, what it means is that defenders will always go under screens, and that limits his options. He doesn't have any form of a reliable runner or floater in the bag, so scoring outside of transition can come hard for him. Sometimes you'll heave up awkward one-handed floaters that lack touch. He really takes advantage of mismatches on offense, and he lacks polish as a finisher. From a mentality standpoint, it looks like he's a good competitor and loves big moments, which is an important trait to have. Obviously, I don't have a strong opinion on this as I've never met the guy, but I can only comment on what I see. Overall though, he looks like a solid prospect. There are some very translatable skills there, but a lot of coaching and development will need to occur for him to reach his full potential. If that does happen though, he could be a really good NBA player. Well, that's it for this video. If you did enjoy that, please politely tap that like button. I will have more scouting reports out between now and at least the draft lottery, maybe even going all the way up until the draft itself. So yeah, subscribe if you want to see more of these videos. And yeah, Until next time, it's been your boy, Zach McAllister. Have a good day.